Yo, what's up? My name's Samuel Leeds. Welcome to Winners on a Wednesday. Every single week, I pull someone down to my office who's become financially free as a direct result of our training programs. And then what happens is you benefit from that because you can learn all the lessons, the struggles, the tricks and tips that they've done to become financially free, and you can start implementing them in your journey. This week we have a guy called Callum. Callum's a teenager. He's 19 years old. He's financially free. He's done it very, very quickly as a result of the training. Callum, welcome to the show, bro.
Thank you for having me.
So what's going down?
I'm 19. I'm studying Oxford Brookes, doing economics, finance and international business, and from that obviously I've got like a financial sort of mindset already, and I sort of started looking into investments, but I went down the typical route that everyone goes down. They just Google start how to make money and blah 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 blah, and it doesn't usually work out very well because the pyramid schemes and all of that.
And Google's full of absolute nonsense.
Yeah.
People say, oh, you can get the information online for free. You can.
If you look in the right place.
But 99.9% of it will be written by broadcast university students who are just trying to get clicks for whatever reason.
Yeah, or lecturers for that matter, because like some lecturers just don't even know what they're talking about.
They don't know what they're talking about. Especially if they're teaching about business.
Yeah.
If you're a lecturer at a university teaching about business, how successful are you in business?
Yeah.
How successful? I mean, maybe if you enjoy it, I teach because I enjoy teaching.
Yeah. But you've got the success to back it up.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
So you start Googling this stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, basically, and this is part of my why, is my mum passed away last year from a specific type of brain cancer called glioblastoma multiforme. So that's sort of my end goal, is I want to set up a charity that sort of puts research into that. And
good for you, bro. I'm sorry about your mum as well. That's
cheers.
Yeah.
It's sort of because my mum never had like real financial stability. Right. She was a nurse. She works long hours. She was really hard working. She was an A&E nurse for a long time. And so after she passed away, we got some inheritance through. And I was like, well, I was at uni, so I sort of started to see it ticking away. Yeah. And I didn't like that.
As in shrinking?
Yeah.
Right.
So, because obviously I was like, it's only, it's £12 there and £3 there, but it does add up. And it just sort of was decreasing very, very rapidly. And so I sort of started to Google these things and eventually came across, property investing as a whole, which obviously being a finance student I already knew about, but then I started to look at I'll buy a property. So I was looking in Oxford, which, as you'll know, is extremely expensive.
Yep.
And it was I think I was looking at a flat that was going to be like 250k to buy, and it would have used all of my inheritance. I wasn't factoring in legals. My ROI would have been about 4%. And then spoke to a mortgage broker, and they went, no chance. You haven't got income, you're not running through a business, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, you're 19, you're a uni student, you're not getting it. Yeah. Forget it. Wait till you're 21 and then wait another 2 years.
Yeah.
And so I
was no men.
Yeah.
People that just say find problems.
Yeah. They just literally, it was no. And every time I tried to ask a question, it was no.
How much money are we talking? You say you could buy somewhere for 250, is that cash?
No, 25%.
Okay, fine.
So then it was actually got kind of weird because I started looking into it and then sort of gave up for a little while, and it was 3 months ago in the summer. I was working night shifts in a petrol station, so I was 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. and that's where I read both your books. I read Alistair's book, but I actually found you because of cookies on web browsers save your browsing history. It was because of that. I was on YouTube at 2 o'clock in the morning, and just because of what I previously searched, your video popped up and I was like, alright, I'll give that a watch, whatever. And then, here I am. So
what video was it? Do you remember?
Do you know what? I don't know the title of the video, but I remember it was long before you moved to London, and you were on a roof. I think it was the roof of your house. And it was where someone had, it was like a Q&A style, and someone had written in saying, I'm 17, I want to get into property, what's the best thing for me to do right now? And you sort of said, well, you can do it now. There's nothing stopping you can do it right now.
At the time you were 18? Or was it just very recently?
No, I was 19, so I'm 20 in November, so I was 19 at the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, if you're saying a 17-year-old can do it, well,
Right.
why can't a 19-year-old do it?
Yeah, exactly. And also, as well, in your position, you were quite vulnerable because you've got a little bit of money, not loads of money, maybe like 40 grand or whatever it was, but you've got people, there'll be finance planners and people say, oh, this is what you need to do with it, you know,
Yeah.
you need to put it into this ISO, you need to put it into this, which is mostly a terrible thing to do. I mean, probably the worst thing to do would be to just blow it.
Yeah, that's what I didn't want to happen.
Or just spend it slowly
Yeah.
on bills and stuff, but then put it into an ISA or whatever, it's still going to shrink.
Yeah.
Really, because of cost. Although you might get a very tiny bit of growth, as the inflation will grow faster.
Yeah, I mean, I have got like a really small amount of money in stocks, which is making about 5% a year. So it's still growing slightly, like more than inflation. But
Yeah. How much cash flow is it giving you?
nothing.
Nothing.
I think it's about £12 a year or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, geez, we can get McDonald's once a year.
Yeah, like it's not good.
So what was it about me and property in general that really attracted you in the early days?
It wasn't. I think initially I was just thinking about the money. I was more thinking like my mum hasn't left me this money for me to go and waste it or spend it on bills or go on a holiday or something like that. So initially it was just about making sure that money was it was used to do what it was intended for, to sort of set me up for life. So it was more the passive side of things that I sort of started looking at, and the more I looked into it, I mean, I've always liked property, like I like interiors, and do you ever watch $1 Million Listing?
No.
I watched $1 Million Listing in New York like it's like it's food. It literally all the time. I love that show.
Right.
So I've always been into property.
Yeah.
But I never sort of thought like. I mean, the clue's in the name, $1 Million Listing. I thought, okay, you gotta have lots of money.
Yeah.
And I think what sort of pushed me into it was what you said about the 17-year-old being able to do it, and then sort of I obviously love the energy. The energy was great, and I just didn't see anyone else doing it, and so I think that initially attracted me.
Yeah.
And then it was when I read, because I was like, well, I might as well, because I went to 2 a.m. YouTube wormhole and just ended up watching loads of videos. Then bought both your books and Alistair's book from that, and had probably 2 days where 2 shifts at work. I just took them to work and was reading them like in the middle of the night.
Great.
Read those, and then I watched James Armstrong's Winners on a Wednesday.
Yeah, he's like 2021.
Yeah, the original one. I was like, well,
I think he was 20 on that video.
yeah, I think he was. But I just I saw all of it, and I was like, I want that.
Yeah.
Like, I want that to be me. So I sort of, when you see someone on YouTube and you sort of idolise them,
Yeah.
and you put them on a pedestal that like they're unreachable.
Yeah.
You won't get through to them every time. Well, I sort of messaged him fully expecting him not to reply, and then I think when he replied, it sort of gave me the confidence to do it. And so immediately,
What did he say to you?
So initially, I actually messaged him asking if he'd be able to find me a deal.
Right.
Because obviously he knew all about property, I had the money, I was at uni, I thought I didn't have the time for it. When realistically at uni all you have is time. And so I initially messaged him like that, and then he sort of asked me what my strategy was, how much I had to invest, and all the normal questions you'd ask an investor what they want. And I realised how little I knew, and then I sort of, because obviously I noticed the trend that like everyone on Winners on Wednesday, or nearly everyone, a large proportion of people had been through the academy.
Yeah.
And it was because of that had sort of boosted them up and made them do it so much quicker. So I actually, within that conversations, like before I hadn't been to a crash course, I got a ticket, anything.
Dude, you were a virgin, man.
Yeah. I just said, I want to join the academy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it was that made me do it, but I think part of it was just him replying.
Yeah.
Genuinely, because it sort of gave me more confidence. So I said, I want to sign up to the crash course, so I want to sign up to the academy, but I want to take a crash course. He said, not a problem, we can get you on it, we'll do it all over the phone.
James did this?
Yeah, it's
See, and James doesn't work for us.
No.
But it's same as you now. Like, you're getting people messaging you, and you just want to help people.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
exactly why I had the phone call. I was just telling you about the phone call with someone yesterday about they're the same age as me, they don't really know what they want to do.
Right.
And they just didn't know, they were saying, oh, I might like do all the education first and start in 18 months. And I was like, no, because you'll forget the education in 18 months.
Yeah.
Do it now and you'll remember it.
Yeah, do it as long as you want to be learning and earning together.
That's exactly it, yeah. So I messaged him and just said, look, I want to join the academy, flat out, end of story. So he's like, yeah, we'll get it done over the phone and, you know, get the team to contact you. So that was happening, I was waiting for a reply. And there was a crash course that weekend. It was the last crash course before you went away over August.
Yeah.
And I was desperate. I was on the Facebook groups non-stop trying to get this ticket. At midnight on Wednesday evening.
This is how hard it is to get to my crash courses.
Honestly, at midnight on Wednesday evening, I got the ticket.
Well done.
I messaged James on Thursday morning and went, I've got a ticket to the crash course, I'll be there at the weekend. Like, get me signed up. Booked a hotel, booked a train ticket, boom, I was there at the weekend.
And by the way, for the record, it sold out and you were begging people,
Yeah.
you know, can I come with you? Is anyone got any spare tickets?
Yeah.
Any plus ones?
Yeah, I probably posted on the Facebook group 10, 12 times in 2 days. Genuinely, I was posting every like 3 hours.
And I bet the team would just go, dude, wait till September. And
Yeah.
you were like, nah, July is the month.
That's the thing. I was like, well, no, because like I don't want to wait all this time. Like, because working at the petrol station, it was genuinely making me ill. Like, because of the night shifts and like terrible sleeping pattern, terrible eating pattern.
Yeah.
It was not good. So
how do you like? It's interesting that you put so much value on education. Like, you've got an inheritance, and straight away you're saying, I want to bang, I want to. Some people would see that as you blowing it on education, and you desperately get the crash course. But actually, I believe that property is the second best thing to invest in. The best is yourself.
You're right, yeah. I think that definitely comes from my mum. She was, because she never got a really good education.
Right.
So she always like persistently wanted us to go and get a good education, go to a good school, and just make sure that we got what she didn't have as a kid.
Yeah.
So I think that's where that sort of comes from. And again, part of the reason, like when James was asking me, oh, what's your strategy, and you know, all of these different questions, I had no idea what the answer was. I was like, well, if I don't know what I'm doing, how can I put my faith in someone like when I don't know what they're doing? I don't understand the concept of it. So I was like, well, I want to understand it first.
Excuse me.
Bless you. So I was like, oh, I want to understand it first. So I read your books and then watched videos and all that, and I've probably watched a lot of your videos. And so I sort of just ploughed into it because I thought, you know what, if it works, I'll get the money back anyway. Yeah. Because
on the training, you mean?
Yeah. If the training works, I'll get the return on the investment through investments. Yeah. Doing it properly. So I went to the crash course at the weekend, signed up straight away, and then the following week it was the launch pad and the Rent to Rent Revolution.
Oh yeah!
Yeah.
So you did the Rent to Rent training?
That week, in those 7 days, I was in London more than I was actually at my own house.
Right.
So
crash course, academy, launch pad, Rent to Rent training, university. You just like.
Yeah, just all at once, and then so it was at the.
Did it blow your mind a little bit?
A little bit. Yeah. It was intense as well, and it was like. It's a step up from the crash course, because the crash course, everyone's there to learn, but at the same time, I feel like there's a lot of time wasters.
It's the people, man. The crash course, the thing is, because the crash course is free, believe me, we deliver at the crash course.
Oh yeah.
Like, we teach like crazy. Yeah. But because of the people in the room, don't get me wrong, a lot of them are amazing, but they're not paid to be there.
No.
And when you don't pay for something, you don't value it. And that's why at some point we'll probably start charging 500 quid, 1,000 quid for these crash courses, because if people don't pay for something, there's no skin in the game.
No, and it does. I've been to this weekend. I've been a third crash course.
Third crash course.
Yeah,
right.
Just because networking for one, and there's all different types of people there as well. It's not just like people that I can get money from. It's like trades, tradespeople, material suppliers. There's all these different types of people there, and even the information. No two crash courses are the same. So the one I went to in London was very different to the one I went to in Birmingham, and the one I went to in Birmingham just gone. In the original one, I didn't pick up about the bank account thing, the 6 bank accounts.
Yes.
I didn't pick up about that in the first one.
Right.
Don't know why. I just don't remember.
Maybe we didn't teach it because, as you say, it's always different. Next week, I'm not even going to the crash course. Russell and I are running next week. I'm going to be there this weekend. There's 1,000 people there.
Yeah.
You're there.
Yeah,
I'm going to get you on stage, bro.
Yeah, I love it.
So university, you realise you want to invest this money. Wow. You realise that the best thing to do is to invest it into yourself.
Yeah.
You invest it into yourself, you go crazy. As it happens, you manage to get on a lot of courses back to back real quick within the academy.
Yeah.
Last couple of months, what have you done?
Okay, so went to the Rent to Rent Revolution course, which was great.
Did you secure a rent to rent on the program?
Sort of.
Go on.
So we were given. It's obviously how all the courses work. But
I created them, bro. I created the rent to rent course.
I don't know why I was going to explain it. But, so you get taught how to find the deal and how to find the leads and sort of contact people. And then Russell was like, okay, you have half an hour to go make some calls. Actually, hold on, no, you got 10 minutes.
Oh!
So he sent us out. Like everyone was running out of the room trying to find some signal because where we were, it was sort of downstairs, so there was no signal in the actual room. And so everyone was running out trying to make calls. I made like 8 phone calls in that 10 minutes, which was pretty good.
Very good.
All 8 no.
Right.
Flat out no. And it's the typical one, you ring them up and you go, this is what I do, and they go, yeah, can I call you back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Things after being told no 8 times in the space of 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Bang, 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 bang. No.
Yeah.
It goes, ain't that bad.
Yeah.
Where's the wound?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm no poorer, I'm no weaker.
And I can laugh at it now because it's funny. And you learn from it as well.
Yeah.
So you sort of learn what you did wrong. But that evening, I think that was the second day. That was the second day of the Rent to Rent Revolution. And that evening I was going out for drinks with a few people, and I was waiting for people to get changed and like get ready or whatever. So I had like half an hour to spare. So I was like, you know what? I'll send out a few messages on Gumtree. Right. So I sent out 10 messages. It was about 10, 11 messages, something like that. And but before midnight, I had 7 replies to those messages. I viewed all 7 of those properties the following week. 6 of them were terrible. Poor location, poor condition, weren't open to work.
But you wouldn't have known that if you had the trade.
No, and you wouldn't have known that if you didn't go.
Yeah.
Like if you didn't go to view the properties.
Yeah.
So I went to view the properties and took someone who was in my mastermind group with me because he was also interested in investing in Oxford. I was like, well, if you can't beat, join them.
You mastermind your little group of 6 within the academy.
Yeah.
So they got some good people on there.
Yeah. So the guy I'm working with, his name's Tanash.
Yeah.
He used to run like an assisted care business, so he'd provide housing for like disabled people and things like that. So he's now moving more into property, so he knows a lot about like refurbs and stuff like that, and I don't. So for me, I was like, well, he's probably going to provide a much better quality of property than I would, but purely because of his experience. So if you can't beat and join him, he suggested joint venturing. I was like, yeah, let's do it. So we went to view this 1-bed flat, and it was a Japanese landlady, and she's out of the country 8 months out of the year. She doesn't want anything to, it's a lot of hassle for her to like manage the properties. Obviously being in Asia, and so we sort of sat down there. We spent probably about 3 hours in there, and it turned out that she had not only this 1-bed flat but this 5-bed house as well. So we walked away there that day with both properties sort of secured in principle, on a handshake, and we looked at it. The house, or the 1-bed flat, is going to be rent to SA. Has to be. Can't be HMO. It's only 1 bed.
Yeah.
So we then looked at a house. So it has a HMO license in Oxford, which is kind of a rarity because it's all Article 4. So we looked at doing it as a rent-to-rent HMO because we were going to pay a flat rate for like a single let rent, and we would have made about £500 each. So we profited about £1,000 a month. But which is good. £500 is good. But then we looked at doing it as an SA, and it's looking like we'll get, average of, because 2 of the rooms the landlady's paying for us to put en suites in.
Yeah.
So we're probably, going to get about an average about £85 a night per room.
Yeah.
So instead of profiting £1,000 a month total net profit, it'll probably be more like £5,000 a month net profit.
Wow, 5,000.
Yeah.
That's so much. Is that in Oxford?
Yeah, because
Oxford's good.
If it's fully occupied, and it's
which it will be if
it's fully occupied for one night, it's £425
for a night.
Yeah.
I've got a rental SA in Oxford as well.
Yeah, it's Woodstock, isn't it?
Yeah. And that is a dream.
Yeah, I was there at the Rent to Rent Revolution about it. Yeah, because you don't have this high occupancy, but you've got a higher rate, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like that's a house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if it was going to work, but at the start, I was actually talking to someone at the DFE just gone about this, and it was sort of focused on how do I make £10 a month? I'm like, well, you need to focus on the small pieces at first, and so we sort of just agreed to do it, and then figure it out later.
Yeah.
But it's looking like we're just gonna have 5, maybe 6 lock boxes for the keys.
Have you got the keys to these properties?
Yep.
So it's all done, it's all secure.
Yeah, we've got contracts signed.
Contracts all signed, and of the 2 properties.
So off of those 2, because since I spoke to you last, I've got more. So
I like it, man.
Of those 2, if they're both occupied at 75%.
Yeah, which is conservative.
Yeah, it'll be about £3,000 net profit for me.
Wow.
Per month. Then when's the another crash course? Because I slowed down a little bit. I feel like those 2 deals I got a bit overconfident and was like, I don't need anything else. So I slowed down a bit in August. So I got the deal, got them signed, and then sort of midway through August I slowed down, started not doing as much, and I was like, oh, this is bad. So went on another crash course just to give me a little oomph, which is when I picked up the thing about bank accounts, which I hadn't noticed before, so it was fully worth it.
What happened? So you got these 2, £5 a month, isn't it? Also, sorry, £3 a month.
3, yeah.
Comes to this crash course just a few weeks back. What happened there?
I met a lot of really good people who sort of enhanced the relationship with your team, Ben Mack, James Armstrong, Ben Willis, and they so sort of went and networked. So that was sort of the main reason I went, was A, to sort of give myself a little kick, and sort of B, to network and just
solidify relationships.
Yeah, and there's other people sign up to the academy there, and it's like they want to know what it's like. So being there, you can sort of share experiences, and then you've got that sort of link with someone else on the academy.
Yeah.
Went to that, and then it was in like a week or so. The September DFE just gone. I was there and went to that, and Russell does his bit about rent to rent, and he just asked, did anyone go to the training in August for Rent to Rent Revolution and get a deal off the back of it? So I put my hand up, and he got me a mic and got me to break down the deal, and was clearly impressed by it. And I literally, how many people were at the DFE? 350 for it?
Yeah, about 300 or so.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I spoke to every single person in that room.
Oh wow!
I walked home with a stack of about 100 business cards.
Is that because you stood up and Russell called you out?
Yeah, and so many people walked up to me like, "Are you the SA guy?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, that's me."
And then what? You get joint ventures off the back of it or something?
I had someone walk up to me.
Sell deals to them?
Well, I didn't actually have any deals to sell, so not that.
I bet you wish you had.
I would have made a sweet penny on that.
Yeah.
But I had a guy walk up to me literally after I had that sort of section just finished. We went for a break. I think it was the break just before lunch. And he walked up to me, lovely guy, his name's Vinod, and he said, "Look, I've got these 2 properties in near Reading. This is about 5 minutes away from Ascot. I've just secured through an agent on Rent to Rent, and they're happy to do it. It's in a new build block of flats." So I was like, "Yeah, how can I help?" And he was like, "Well, I've never set up an SA before." Me thinking that he was like just asking for advice on what to do. He was like, no, I want a joint venture. I was like, okay, fine, cool.
Nice.
So I went through the numbers at lunchtime.
That's the power of having the skill, man!
And then the next day, Saturday, because it finished on Friday, didn't it?
Yeah.
So Saturday I went and viewed them, viewed the properties, secured them. They'll be live by the 15th.
That's, dude, fantastic.
So that's, and then, well, that was the building. I'll show you a video in a minute. The building hasn't actually even been finished yet. That's phase. We've got 2 in phase 1, and they've offered us the penthouse in phase 3, phase 2, 3, something like that.
I'm really impressed. There is so much business and so much opportunities out there.
Yeah.
And seeing you utilise it and network well and joint venture with people is awesome. And also understand the power of, because honestly, man, I have to fight people sometimes to come on Winners Wednesday because they say, oh no, because if I go on Winners Wednesday, all my family are going to want something from me. That's such a poverty mindset.
Actually, I've got a point to add on that. My sisters, I have 2 sisters, and they're very different. Both older than me. My oldest sister, she just had a kid, and everyone's really happy, healthy baby, and she wants to buy a house outright. She wants to put as much money down as possible. I keep trying to tell her, she's probably going to watch this and sort of pay me for it, but at the same time, I keep trying to tell her it's not really the right thing to do.
It's a terrible decision.
Right, okay, well I didn't say that, so she can blame me for that. But
to live in?
Yeah.
To buy a house in cash to live in? Man.
Because she wants security, and I do understand the fact that she's got a baby and she wants security, but at the same time, I'm like, look, you could do so much with that
Send
money.
her to the crash course, bro.
Well, funny you say that. My other sister, she's in an admin job, and she sort of has noticed what I've been doing because I've been posting on my story a lot and trying to get social media up there. Launching a YouTube channel soon. Hopefully this Friday.
Subscribe, bro. I'll subscribe.
Hopefully this Friday it's coming out, so that's exciting. But I spoke to my sister, Emily, the younger one of the 2, after the DFE, and I said, look, you need to get on this. Because she has the same amount of inheritance as me, she's quite a savvy saver. And I was like, you need to get on this, you just need to come down to a crash course. She's like, oh, when's the next one? Oh, I don't know if I can get off work. It's like, Emily, you won't need work if you go to the crash course.
Yes!
And she's signed up.
Amazing.
She's coming in November.
Amazing.
So
she'll love it.
if people are like, oh, I don't want to come on Winners Wednesday because my family don't want stuff from me, well, they can have stuff from me if they get their education first.
Yeah, exactly. And they can buy joint venturing, get the knowledge.
Well,
financial freedom alone is actually boring because when I first became financially free, because I didn't have this environment, I was kind of alone in a way.
Yeah.
And then suddenly I was thinking, man, I want to train other people to do this. And most of my friends now are from people that have come to the crash course.
I've had so many friends ask me to tell them. And I had one friend, in the Wolf of Wall Street when he goes, you show me a paycheck for how many thousands of pounds right now, I'll quit my job and come work for you.
Yeah.
I had a friend say that if you show me a paycheck for £6,000 a month and I'll quit my job right now.
And did you prove it to him?
Well, I haven't got
that.
that.
But you were 3,000, that's pretty close.
So he said, I want to see £6,000 a month and I'll quit my job and come work for you.
Right.
So, I mean, not that I want him to quit his job, but at the same time...
I'd tell him to just quit now. How old is it?
Same age as me.
Right, nothing to lose, man.
I think he might be a year older, actually.
You know what? When I was 17, I worked for free, just managing people's properties. Because if you manage people's properties for free, what happens is, number one, you get loads of experience about managing properties and about properties in general. But number two, you're positioning yourself when you're in front of loads of landlords.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that than have a paycheck, man.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I'm in quite a unique position as well, the fact that I get a lot of student loan, because I'm the only one supporting my student loan application. So
what are you doing with your student loan?
Saving it.
To do what with it?
So I'm doing 6 bank accounts. So
right, yeah. So you learned how to manage your money.
So what I'm hoping is
manage your debt.
Yeah. So what I'm hoping is by the time that what I've got of my student loan runs out before Christmas, I would have got more than plenty rolling in and stuff like that. Because I should have by the 15th of October, I should have 4 properties live. Maybe 3, depends on the builders and stuff like that. And then I've been offered another one in Eton, and actually it was just downstairs. We're looking at, there's a group of 5 of us who are looking at buying a block of 12 flats in Scarborough, which they want to do as service accommodation.
Buying a block, and you're going to then rent it off of them, or you're going to buy it as well?
No. So it's basically it's a guy called Christian who found it, and he sort of was a bit, because he was like, oh, it's my first deal.
Yeah.
It was a bit too big for his first deal.
Right.
So he was like, oh, I might just sell it on to an investor. And then someone else who these are all Academy members as well, someone who I befriended through the Academy, Farouk, he called me and he was like, look, I've sort of told him not to sell it because let's just get a team together and let's do it by ourselves, even if it means we'll get less each, we'll use other people's money and we'll get an infinite return anyway, so it's irrelevant, let's just do it as a team. So there's a group of 5 of us, and it's looking like we can buy on bridging finance, pull a lot of the money out, about 30k left in it,
nice.
Which is realistically nothing considering it won't even be ours. So that I'm looking at doing that right now, which we might run like part of it service accommodation, the rest single lets, or it's not really, we've not really worked it out exactly yet. But the ROI on both is great. So.
You kind of followed in, a lot of people do this on the Academy. I mean, James Armstrong, Anthony John, guys, they get a few rent-to-rents, they become financially free, they have the experience, and then start working on big deals. They come on Winners Wednesday, they brand themselves, they come to all the training programs, and then start joint venturing with people on big deals.
Well, that was the thing as well for me, because I'm 19, I'm at uni, I have no income. I was like, right, first things first, I can't sell the fact that I'm 19, right? That's impossible, I can't change that. I'm at uni, also can't change that, I'm not going to drop out. And the only thing I can change is my income, right? Yeah. So let's get cash flow, let's get as many rent-to-rents as possible, get as much cash flow as possible, because then no one can turn me down on a financial affordability basis. Yeah. So I was like, right, if I've got the income, that's fine, because then I can just get someone to either guarantor it or whatever and just sit on it. Yeah. So I can actually, like my sort of toolbox that I can use expands quite drastically as soon as I've got that income. Yeah. And it means that I will have so much, like these flats, I will be able to do this because of the cash flow that the rent-to-rents have given me. So for me, it was very much a case of cash flow, and that's what I was talking to Will, the guy I had a phone call with yesterday, about. I was like, because he works 40 hours a week, and he wants to sort of subsidise his income. He doesn't want to quit his job because he enjoys his job, which, okay, is understandable. But he was like, I want to do deal sourcing. I said, well, realistically, if you're working 40 hours a week, you're not going to be able to provide the level of like quality of service to your clients as you realistically should if you want to do it to say Alistair's level. Yeah. Because I just had lunch with Alistair and he was saying how like when he first started out, he was staying in hotels 4 or 5 nights out of the week.
Yeah, he was.
So I sort of said, why don't you just get a little bit of cash flow first, get like one rent to rent, and then use that to subsidise your income. Roll back your hours on your job, and then you can use that to deal source. You can use your spare time. And so he's gonna be at the crash course on Friday.
You're like, the thing is, you're like an evangelist now for education.
Yeah, and I think if you work it out, like I'll be making £6,000 a month off of the deals that I've got. Right, I've done the rent to rent, 2 crash courses so far, and the DFE.
And the launchpad.
And the launchpad, yeah. Which launchpad's great, by the way. I think that's.
How's the Academy as a whole been so far?
Really good. Really good.
Yeah.
I think it's, for me, it's the accountability. Mm-hmm. It's someone sort of, especially in my mastermind group, Sitar and Tanash especially, we've got quite a few big things planned for that, and they're just accountability for everything. Yeah. Like for example, I'm looking into getting an office in the near future, and Tanash was like, before I was thinking about it, he was like, well, why don't you have an office? And I was like, well, because I'm not. He was like, no, why don't you have an office? Get an office. And I was like, oh, all right then. Yeah. Okay.
Being in the right environment as well.
Yeah, and it's such a mindset thing as well. I get so much more work done, even if I go to a cafe. Yeah. Like just being in my room is not the right place. I think you need to have that area that that you can just sort of step back from, go to.
Environment's important, and that's the same thing what you say, accountability is within the academy, you're in the environment of successful people.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the crash course. I feel like people are there to learn, but there's a lot of time wasters because, like you said, they don't value what they're being given, even though
they're awesome.
Yeah, I know, and it's annoying as well because, like, you talk to so many people, you spend so much time with them, and then they just drop off the face of the earth. Like, what's the story about the guy you tell who you got that lease option for, and then he sort of poof, gone?
I gave away a free lease option as an
social
experiment.
No, the one with where you went to the house and it was what's his name? You tell it every crash course.
Oh, you're talking about the guy, Mr. Singh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that. You spend so much time with it, then poof, gone.
Yeah.
And I think at the academy, because everyone's paid money to be there.
Yeah.
Right, and they're serious. And if you're not taking it seriously, then just leave. Like no one's gonna like you. Yeah. You want people to like you, so you're going to take it seriously as well.
I don't think you drop thousands of pounds if you weren't serious.
No, exactly. Yeah. And that's the whole thing. And like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get messages from my family going, "You did what? You spent how much? You doing what?" And it's going to make me laugh in a way because it's a lot of money, but I make half of what I've spent in a month.
Exactly, and I think it's just a straight ROI, return on investment.
Yeah.
And I think people can see that. So, well, man, I really appreciate your support. Thanks for being an evangelist for what we do. We'll continue supporting you. Welcome any crash course anytime. I think this week there's 1,000 people, or actually just a little bit more. I'm going to get you on stage. Share the story. Very nice. Thanks, man. Hey, listen, guys, I hope you found that inspiring listening to Callum. Find him on Facebook, follow him, stalk him. Come down to a Property Investors Crash Course as well. Get yourself in the environment of successful people. If your five closest friends are all not financially free, you'll be the sixth person that will also not be financially free. So come on down, join the family, meet the team. I'll leave a link below for the crash course, completely free, on the house, book below. I'll see you there.